And we are live here on coaradio.com and Society Bites, UITES, Society Bites radio.com. That's a cough. I'm going to cough again.
Oh, God.
There we
Two
go.
of you,
The
synchronized.
two of us. I was fine up until about 7 minutes ago.
Do you need water too?
I have iced
Iced
tea, unsweetened, like me, unsweetened.
Yeah,
iced
that's
tea.
true. That's usually called bitter.
I'm gruff. Yeah, well, that's why cannibals don't eat us divorced people. We're bitter.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good to know.
Rock on Radio is brought to you by actress Eileen Sullivan. Who else? Oh, CPA Jody Weber. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill. The official caterers of the Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular,
Coming soon.
which will be December 22nd from 7 till 11 p.m. And
5 weeks and counting.
yep. I can't believe it's getting. I already started Christmas shopping,
Oh, did you? Good for you. So
which
did
is
I.
better
So did
than
I.
usual when I wait till the day after the Christmas Spectacular.
Oh, this is the day after Christmas. Oh, that's pretty
when all the
bad.
sales are.
That is the best time to shop.
Who else? Ooh, Custom Candle Company of New York,
Yep.
as well
CBD.
as CBD Live Natural. Go to either of those sites.com on the end and check out their products. Bridalmusic.org, providing bridal music for weddings and cocktail hours and
Oh, your needs.
corporate events and so on and so forth. Our good friend Michelle. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Gotcha.
I wonder how she is.
I'm sure she's doing well.
You're my producer. You're supposed to know those things.
I don't know.
Who else? Who am I missing? Ooh, Zen Archer hot sauce.
Yes, with your earbuds.
That's right. Oh, high tech.
Mhm.
That's right. High tech electronics. The purveyors of the safety and sound earbuds, which we gave away at the Rock on Radio Happy Hour Thursday evening.
And who is the winner of the grand prize?
Yeah. Who was that?
Rock on Radio. Good
Oh, it
News.
was, I think it was Judy. Judy, who comes in every now and then. I think she won.
Nice.
They're always happy to like get surprised with this basket of stuff. They stopped in for a beer
They stopped.
at 5 of 9.
Here's a ticket. How much? That's nothing. Well, what are you giving it to me for? Because you're here. That's what I tell them. Well, I'm not going to be here that long. Well, how long are you going to be here? Oh, probably about an hour. That's long enough. Happy hour. It's like I got to get people to think nobody thinks anything's free. No, this is real. This is just for showing up here. You might win something. Well, what am I going to win? It's just shut up and take the ticket.
You win the ticket.
That's it. Yes, you
You
get to
could-
take that home. That's
Free ticket.
You
with
could
you.
win a no knot necklace carrier too.
That's the other one. No
Mhm.
knot necklace carrier, which I know nothing about because
Well, I
I have a
one,
back full of knots and no necklaces. So
so that works. Well, no, it doesn't.
obviously it must.
No necklace knot carrier. That's what
I
you
need
should-
that. Yes, I need that. Who else?
I like my no knot necklace carrier.
Oh
I
yeah, that's
have
right.
one.
You won one
Yes,
at the other happy hour.
Yeah,
So how was it?
it's very nice. I
You
don't
sure?
wear a lot of necklaces, but it keeps all of your earrings and everything all, nice in a zipper pouch to travel, which I don't do, but
Well,
yeah.
you can check them out here on Facebook.
Mhm.
Go to No Knot Necklace Carrier.
Yep.
Same thing with High Tech Electronics, and everybody that sponsors us can be
Mm-hmm.
found on Facebook. Who else?
That's
What
it.
else? Okay, now we have a website.
Mhm.
Bart, I got a website now,
You
man.
do.
I do. For those of
I
you
do, I
watching
do, I
on
do.
YouTube, you can look behind you. There's a big banner back here. The website's at the bottom.
Mhm.
That's a banner. That's not a website. So we tell them.
No, it's the
I said
website's
there's
on
a
the
big
bottom.
banner, and there's a
I just wanted to make sure we were,
Bart. You fit right in.
I didn't want to break the fantasy. I figured if it's, we're going with that, I'm fine. I just wanted to be sure I was all dialed in.
What's our website?
DCROR.com.
I can't turn
Put
around.
the banner over here.
I look like I have eyes in the back of my head. I'm an owl.
Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com or DCROR.com
The quick
for
link.
short.
That's right.
Mhm.
Who else do we have?
That's it. Was
Art's over
Elephant.
Oh, it's a crazy night. Oh yeah, or you can find us on Facebook at Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2, the number 2. Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat are all at Rock on Radio, all one word, all capital letters. So you can find us there.
Mhm.
We don't have any friends on Snapchat. I think I got like 4.
I'm probably one of them, but you don't have a Bitmoji, so you have to have a Bitmoji to be on Snapchat. Sorry.
I don't even know how to make a Bitmoji.
Bitmoji. Well, let me make it for you.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a little emoji of yourself. It's all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's just what the world
Bitmoji.
needs.
Yeah, a little mini me or somewhere.
Yeah, you do. Everyone needs a Bitmoji. It's like happiness. Like you can send all these little things that,
Danny, you could be happy if you have a little mini you.
or you could
Who
send
would've
all
thought?
the.
All these years I've been miserable. Now I
Maybe-
know why.
Maybe
need an emoji,
that's
a Bitmoji.
A Bitmoji. Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'll work on a Bitmoji.
Okay.
How about a bit irritated? I have that.
Nice.
You fit right into
He
it.
does.
I really like
Right, that's
him.
why I love this guy, man.
It's Rick on Radio.
That's it. And we have there was something else I was going to say, and now I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Well, that's how you get in touch with us.
Yes.
Phone number to call us tonight, 609-241-7103.
Mhm.
All right, are we on YouTube?
We are.
Okay.
I'm
We have a new
watching.
sign.
To be watching.
I just
When
looked at the
this
sign
on-
on YouTube. It actually looks good.
It does look cool.
Yeah, looks good. See, tonight's guest, in case you're all wondering, because I don't
Right.
say it enough.
Rick.
That's right. Tonight's guest is Rick Barr.
Thanks, guys. That's actually more applause than I got in the last week. That works out for me.
Come
I'm a
here.
musician. I understand.
I should come here all the
We're
time.
here from affirmation.
That's right.
Mm.
Thanks for having me, though.
We're on YouTube. There was something else I had, and then you started talking about the Bitmojis and I don't know. Oh, I know what I want to do before we get to Rick Barr. Well, there's 3 things. Number 1, we have the Deuce Music Minute
Mhm.
at 8:00
Yep.
Eastern Standard Time this
Mhm.
evening.
I
And
guess
our,
I should sign in and download.
yeah, probably. Our featured artist this week is Chloe Collins.
Yep.
She's from Nashville,
Mhm.
or transplanted to Nashville, one or the other. But that's our featured artist. The other one is Dave the Rave's Rock and Roll Review plus
Mhm.
Traffic and Weather.
Poor Dave.
I said that. I texted him. I was like, dude, you handled that spectacularly. And he's like, thanks. I'm thinking, oh man, he's ticked.
Well, you made him
So
do
then
it.
I threw him under the bus.
Well, he does it anyway. He's a professional.
Exactly.
We only have professionals.
And people need to know about Dave the Rave.
Yes.
So he'll be
He's
doing. I told him, I
wonderful.
said, you know what? You should do New York Traffic and Weather every Sunday night. People are
This-
coming in and out of the city. This way they know what the traffic is.
On a Sunday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's New York City? There's traffic
Just, yeah.
24/7, pretty
That's
much.
true. All right. Yes, there's traffic in New York.
I mean,
I guess
I don't know.
Christmas
It's
is
been like
coming.
30 years since I've been out at 4:00 in the morning in New York City.
all I know is, I don't know.
But there was very few traffic. That's when the garbage dudes are out, man.
that night that we went to the cutting room to see Shalanda,
That was different. That was Christmas time. There were 8,000 drunken Santa Clauses all over the place.
it was SantaCon.
Oh, that's I was there. At
That was
Rock
a special
Head that day.
time. That was,
So
Yeah.
between the Javits Center and the Garden, there were people.
Oh, I know.
But we got on that train to come home at like midnight, and it was packed.
And
with
you needed
drunk
Dave the
people.
Rave. Dressed as Santa.
What's your point, Art?
Is that how you met Dave the Rave?
Yes.
Not really.
No, but I've been drunk on the train. You've been drunk on the train, haven't you?
No comment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have
I
never.
wish to
been
assert my Fifth Amendment.
No?
ever. No.
See, when you go to New York, I remember going to see the Rangers and the Devils because my buddy was a Ranger fan and I was a Flyer fan, and neither of us could get tickets for the Rangers or Flyers, so we would settle on the Devils because they were terrible.
And they were new.
And one, I scored us a pair of tickets to the Rangers and the Devils in the Garden. It's like, dude, we're going to the Garden. We got on the train, had a few beers before we got on the train,
Right.
had a few more beers at the Garden, and got on a train slightly inebriated
Did you find your way home?
to Woodbridge. And then he drove from Woodbridge to Perth Amboy, and then I drove home from Perth Amboy. Sobered up by that time.
Oh, well, that's good.
But, you know,
But for the as like there's no better place to watch a hockey game than the Garden.
no, you don't think so?
Oh, I love watching games there. I haven't
The
been in a
Garden?
long while.
I've been to a handful at the Garden. Yeah. Ah,
Well, he didn't like it
Rangers.
because the Flyers weren't playing. So for him,
What was it, the playoffs?
yeah. I like Greg. Woo!
Well, I'll be
So who's
going
your
now.
team?
Thanks for
Who's-
having me on.
No, who's your
what
team?
did you
now?
even unpack your guitar for?
So, well, I'll interview you. today.
Thanks.
I'm a Rangers fan.
so,
The
Yeah.
Flyers are on right now. They're playing the Bruins.
they'll probably win.
Rangers were tied 4-4 this afternoon.
They're not doing too well. The Rangers.
Mm.
There you
Last
go.
night, I haven't had a chance to really watch much.
Who won the Giants and the Jets?
The Jets.
Oh, the Jets.
Whoever turned the game off.
That's true.
Whoever took.
It's true.
All right. If you want to give us a call
Sorry.
tonight, you can do so. 609-241-7103. And we'll gladly entertain any questions.
We
or
did
comments
traffic,
that you
weather,
have.
and sports already.
Apparently, that's it. Traffic,
We're
weather, and
done.
sports. We got nothing
We're
left
done.
to do.
Just need a cooking segment, and we're all good to go.
Oh, that'll be at the.
Don't get started. with
We
that.
had a cooking segment.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Our guest is Rick Barth this evening. And how are you, man?
I'm good. It's good. I appreciate you having me back. It's been at least a year that I can
A
think
little
of.
more than a year,
it's
yeah.
somewhere in that ballpark.
It's one of my
It's-
first shows. You were here.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yep. I was a novice.
And, still
I'm
am.
still a novice. No, I am.
Nothing wrong with being a novice.
But you've recently put out the long-awaited
Yeah.
sequel to Hand Me Down Soul.
Yep.
And it is called.
Fade.
Okay, why?
Well,
Let's just get right into
we'll,
it, Bart.
we'll jump right into it. So, when I finished Hand Me Down Soul, and I kind of went right back into songwriting, and Fade was the first or second song I'd written right after. And I said, well, that's a pretty good album title. You know, if I do put out a second album, I'll probably call it Fade. And then wrote more songs and all that, and happened to be in where the Steel Stacks are out in Pennsylvania, and took a picture of it. Bethlehem, yes. And I didn't want to say because I wasn't 100% sure that's where it was. Because I figured I'll err on the side of caution, just say, yeah, Steel Stacks, everybody knows where that is. And took the photo. I said, hey, that'd be a great album cover if I ever decide to put that album out again. And by then, actually, I had already decided, yeah, I'm going to. And I sent it to my brother-in-law, Jim, to help kind of, he's a very good visual type interpreter. I said, you know, the album's probably going to be called Fade. And I think I might use this picture. He says, oh, is it because it's all faded? I was like, sure, that's exactly why I'm gonna. So I mean, it's Fade to me just sounded like a really good title, and the cover fit perfectly for it.
I see.
I don't really think much beyond that kind of stuff. I don't plan anything.
I see. That's why. Another reason why I like Barth. He's just right off the cuff. We get along very well. But it's a full length,
Yep.
which is great. It has so far. It has drawn some unique comparisons. It has
Yeah.
drawn some interesting reviews. Some very good. Some
Some you wonder if
Totally.
they listen to it.
yeah. From what I've seen, I myself have not done the review yet, but I will
I appreciate that.
if you want me to.
Absolutely. Value your opinion.
We'll-
No, that's no joke. That I do appreciate that.
See, we can't even-
I had to make sure. I didn't. Well, before you get it, when I did Hand Me Down Soul, you were one of the first guys that really got behind it, and I never forgot that. I always appreciated that. So that's why I do, in all honesty, value what you think on this album. So
Well, I mean, Hand Me Down Soul, your first album, to me was just incredible. Every
appreciate
song, we were talking a little bit before we went on air. Every song on Hand Me Down Soul sounded fresh. It sounded like you recorded it in your living room with high quality production. You know, it was open, it was airy, it was funny, it was heartfelt. There were just so many things about that album that could take anybody and if it didn't take anybody on an emotional roller coaster, then they need to go get their pulse checked.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because in my opinion, it just, yeah, like I said, there's the lighthearted one, I love you, now go away. uh, and then the title cut, Hand Me Down Soul, the lyrical everything was just, for a debut disc, I thought it was
I
spectacular.
appreciate that. I really do.
And it was very listenable, and it had a great listenable quality to it. A very live sound.
That is true.
And it just, it's, if anybody gets a chance, besides picking up Fade, pick up that one as well. But now with Fade, you went a little more production laden.
It's absolutely more production laden, and as we were saying before, that was by design. It was one of those. The songs on Hand Me Down Soul were very, hey, I just wrote some songs, I'm going to record them. Hey, I think I might put some drums and bass and stuff on. Right? It was kind of just,
and it worked.
It really had that urgency, and like, I have no clue what I'm doing. With Fade, I had lived with the songs for a good number of years before I even started recording them, and as we were doing it, Keith Dunham and I, it was like, hey, you know what? I really would like to have pedal steel in this. I really love to have violin on this. And it was really kind of a, what would I want to do if I were going to do like a full blown kind of thing? Because I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to do that again. So I have some amazing musician friends that, Wayne Wilson on pedal steel, Don Patrick on violin, Rick Kruger on lap steel and dobro. Bass player friend Ralph Heiss, who's on all of my albums and helps do a lot of stuff. All these guys came together and said, "Yeah, we'd love to do it." So, and I'm missing a whole bunch, but it was nice to be able to have that group of friends that wanted to do it. So that's why it's, I wanted to get as many people in there as I could, and also the songs in my head kind of had that fullness about them. But I like to be able to say that I can, the next one might be very sparse. It might just be an acoustic guitar and a vocal, and that's it. I like to be able to think that I can go whichever direction I want to go, and not be kind of locked into, well, he's this kind of artist or that kind of artist.
That's right. That's what, you were saying that prior to us going on the air, and I know I questioned you a little bit about it. When I listen to the few tracks that I have listened to, as I told you, I haven't.
Yep.
I kind of refused to listen to the whole thing until I had you in studio, so we could talk about it, and then and see if you wanted it reviewed, and then I would go from there. But I saw in what I've heard, it seems that because it is more production laden.
Mhm.
It's a much bigger sound. It's a fuller sound. And you said something to me before we went on the air that I found very interesting. You said that you don't want to be pigeonholed
Right.
into a certain style or sound or whatnot. I mean, somebody actually compared this to a country record.
I mean, I can see how
But
they
you
would
said
get
you
there,
were going for that a little bit.
It's definitely country-esque, right? I would never say that I'm a country artist. I don't write that style of music, but it played heavily when I was growing up. I heard a lot of, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, all that stuff was in my house growing up. So, just as much as Guns N' Roses and Kiss were in my life growing up. So all that kind of stuff is in there. That's why I'll never say I'm a country artist or rock artist. I'm just a musician. But yeah, there are styles that are more prevalent when I write, and I think it's a little, I don't want to say easier to write a country song, but for me it comes out a lot.
Rolls out.
It rolls out a lot. I'm like,
Well, it's lyrical, and you're very lyrical.
yeah, I don't have the skill anymore to play like hard rock guitar and do these flashy solos. If I ever had that, but country just seems, like you said, kind of just rolls out a little bit. So instead of fighting it, I figure I'll just go with what's there. And if the next album has more of a hard rock-esque sound to it, that's what I'll do. I don't ever want to feel like I can't do that because I'm a folk player, or I can't do that because I'm a metal guy. I like to be able to just do whatever I want to do. And hopefully people like it. And if they don't, well, then hopefully the next album they will. It's just,
Isn't that the way it should always be, though? You should
like
be
to
able to
think.
do what you want to do. What I can't stand though is when you get fans of an artist who they're so used to the artist doing things the way they like.
Right.
Now, when an artist tries something different,
They bail. Yeah.
yeah, or they bash them, or they say it's. I mean, I've been a lead head my entire life, and I can remember starting my senior year in 1980 in high school, and a month or so into senior year, Led Zeppelin releases In Through the Outdoor.
Yep.
Which had a totally different sound than, it was kind of like when Led Zeppelin 3 came out. And
Yeah, it was a lot of
totally
production
different
on it,
sound than what they were used to. I mean, Zeppelin 1 and 2 were hardcore blues, rock and roll.
Four guys in a room playing.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
All of a sudden, Led Zeppelin 3 has acoustic guitar. What is that? And they had the various sound effects
Yep.
And then In Through the Outdoor comes out, and I can remember people said, "Oh man, that album stinks." It's man, who's that? That ain't Led Zeppelin.
They still play singles off it, though.
right? Is it my favorite album by them? No, not by a long stretch.
Right.
But there are still tunes that are played constantly. I thought they went a little too electronic on that album.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's their right as the artist to do that,
It's what they felt like doing at the time.
because they were still good enough from all their other discs that people were going to buy albums from them. All right, you know what? I'll buy Presents instead of this one because I really like.
But
this
there was
better.
an interview about that with Robert Plant. He was like, "Well, we were tired of being on the road. We were tired of touring. We were burned out. They rented some castle. You know what I mean? And that's where they actually recorded that album in some castle type
Right.
thing. That's why it came out the way it did. They were just at a whole different place.
Well, and they were rehearsing for that tour when John Bonham died. So, but so as an artist, you've gone. Not that this disc is so much different from your
I
other
think
one,
it
but
still
it
sounds like me. I
Oh
agree.
yeah, it sounds like you
yeah.
vocally. Vocally it sounds like you, but the music doesn't much sound like the first disc.
Right. And again, that was by design. It was can I do that? Because I had said to you earlier that a lot of the comments that I got, not, I should say a lot, but some of the comments I got in Hand Me Down Soul were, wow, it was kind of just sparse. And people like that. But I said, I wonder if I, threw in some mandolin or threw in some pedal steel, what would it sound like? So that's kind of really where I wanted to go with this.
And that's great.
And I found players that were able to do that. And, because I could have tried to do it myself, but I am in no way like a pedal steel guy. So I found a guy Wayne Wilson, who's an amazing pedal steel player. And when he came in, he plays on Fade and Any More to Me. And when he started to just play, I had to leave the room because it was just like, wow, that just made it sound like what I heard in my head.
There you go.
And would I do that again? I don't know, maybe. Two of the artists that are three, Butch Walker, Ryan Adams, and Tom Petty, I don't know that they ever made the same record again. They put out a record. The next one was their 80s tribute album. The next one was like a straight up country album. And those are the artists that I like. And I love the fact that they're able to do that. And I try to emulate that as best I can. Not that I'm ever going to be in these categories, but those are the guys I look to go, yeah, you can play what you want. You don't have to do what you're known for.
Right.
To your point, though, I don't think you should totally deviate where it's like, wow, I don't even know who this guy. He totally went to an electronica album. That's not me, and I think it would come off as
Yeah, I don't think you'll do good as Yanni.
no, not at all.
Or rapping. Don't
Well,
rap.
when the Stones put out Emotional Rescue, you knew it was the Stones, but it was totally different from anything they had ever done, because you knew because of the guitar style and the vocals of Mick Jagger. So no matter what you do, there's going to be some sort of thing that says, that's Bart.
And that's kind of
that's Rick Bart.
the goal. You want to be, I when I play these songs now and I mix them in with Hand Me Down Soul, and I've been writing a whole bunch. I've got more stuff that I'm putting out. They all not thematically, but they all stylistically sound like me. But some are, when I play with the original band, I have The Line. Those are more rock oriented songs. And I've had people, when they see us play, they're like, I didn't even know you played electric guitar. I kind of like that because it's like, you know what? They don't know what they're going to get.
Exactly.
But it all does sound like me, I hope.
There we go.
For better or for worse.
Well, we got about 4 minutes before Dave the Rave calls. You got a tune that's less than 4 minutes we can do? While you're doing that, we will See here, we got Shelly Minaccio is listening.
Woo-hoo.
Shelly says, listening and about to put the little one to bed. Love Rick's
Aw.
music and playing shows with him. His songwriting is inspiring. I love his record. It's great stuff for sure. I would call his music alternative country.
I'll go with that.
Ooh, I like it.
I'll go with that.
Mhm. Nice. Well coined.
I disagree.
Kevin DeFeo is also checked in.
My buddy Kevin.
Mhm.
Good. There you
He was
go.
one of the guys that gave me grief about Fade.
All right, what you gonna do for us?
I'll do the second song from Fade called Any More to Me. It's weird playing sitting down. Tried more than once to get things in line. Knew we'd have to try at least one more time. So to you, gave it our best try. But it's time we faced it, it's no secret, you see. Probably right where you knew we'd be. Things that you want for us, where you wanna be. None of that really don't matter anymore to me. Though we're together, further apart, without love, we every time we tried our best, failed the hardest part. But it's time we face it, it's no secret, you see. Probably right where you knew we'd be. Things that you want for us and where you wanna be. None of that really don't matter anymore to me. Short version. But it's time we faced it, it's no secret, you see. Probably right where you knew we'd be. Things that you want for us and where you wanna be. None of that really don't matter anymore to me.
Yeah, Rick Barth. Way to go, sir. Rick Barth.
Woohoo.
Ooh, sounds like we got Dave the Rave on the phone.
Yes, we do.
Hello.
One and only.
What's happening?
One and only.
Let's hear it, Dave the Rave.
What's going on, Danny? How's everybody in the studio doing tonight?
We are fabulous. Say hi to Rick Barth.
Hi, Rick. How are you?
How you doing, Dave?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. How's the show going for you guys tonight?
So far, so good.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Sandy's joking.
I'm
I,
joking. Rick hasn't left yet.
Well, that helps. That helps.
It helps when you guest
So
stays.
I have something new for your listeners. If it's okay with you, Danny, I was going to give you a quick traffic and weather report for the New York City region right now.
Of course, it's okay. Yeah. We're counting on it.
You're a funny guy, Danny. From what I'm getting from the people in the know, we have an accident northbound by exit 7 on the Hutch which means nothing to the people 150 miles south in South Jersey, but that's okay. The westbound Bell Parkway is looking very heavy with pockets of traffic, but I'm happy to tell you that the BQE itself is moving rather well this evening. We have some slowdowns at the tunnels and bridges, but nothing you should be too concerned about for a Sunday evening at 7:30.
You tell him, Dave.
Dave, we're concerned because that's your turf up there, man. We need to know that you're safe.
Oh, I'm safe. It's very safe here in my dining room as I talk to you. I already went out and did everything I needed to do and dealt with the psychotic people on the roads. It's a free for all, Danny. You can do whatever you want any day of the week, any time of the day. Traffic lights and police be damned. I have somewhere to go. Honk, honk, get out of my way. That seems to be the way people are up here.
That's New York City, skyscrapers and everything.
Exactly. We have a current temperature in New York City, Danny, of 48 degrees. It is partly cloudy and going down to a low of 42 tonight with light winds. Tomorrow, first day of the week, work week, Monday, we're looking at a high of 58 with partial clouds, a low of 44, and light winds in the greatest city in the world.
And there you have it. Traffic and weather, New York City by Dave the Rave. Now, what do you have for a rock and roll review for us?
Okay. I started this morning, and I meticulously went through all the big places, and then I said, you know what, let me look through the smaller places. I also checked Long Island. I checked Westchester, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? This is the truth. The place to be this week in Manhattan is hands down the Beacon Theater. Starting off, first of all, we've got Joe Bonamassa.
Cool.
He is, he is a powerhouse rock and blues guitarist. He is today's premier blues and rock guitar player. He's doing a 3-night residency at the Beacon Theater this week on Manhattan's Upper West Side. We have him for the 14th. Hold on a second. Are my notes correct? Yes, we have him for the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Doors open at 7, shows at 8. He is bringing what's being billed as the guitar event of the year to the Beacon this year for those 3 shows. He has a killer all-star backing band made up of rock and roll legends. That is the show to be at this week in New York City. Joe Bonamassa at the Beacon. Our second show, told you the Beacon was the place to be. Our second show that I want you all to know about. And you know what? Personally, you said to me, Danny, when we started doing this, you said, Dave, talk to me like it's a show that you're at or you want to be at. I didn't even have to fight this one. I was so happy I found this. Charlie Daniels Band is making their first ever appearance Wednesday night, the 13th, at the Beacon Theater, and they're bringing with them the Allman Betts Band, which is huge. This is, the children of Dwayne Allman and Dickie Betts.
Yep.
They have their own band now. I've seen them online. I've listened to some of their stuff, and if I had prior knowledge, I probably would have been at this show myself. I just found out about it this morning. If you're a fan of the Charlie Daniels Band, he is still putting on a fantastic show. He's older, but he's still strong. He has his wits. He still has his talent. Definitely recommend the Charlie Daniels Band. But Allman Betts, that's huge because they're going to be doing their own stuff off the debut album, which hasn't been released yet to my knowledge. But they also throw in a healthy handful of Allman Brothers songs.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what you got this week, Danny. I know it's only
Fantastic.
one venue and one location.
That doesn't matter.
I know, because that's four solid nights of great rock and roll.
Yep. Now, Charlie Daniels, I saw him several years ago with the Outlaws, actually,
Mhm.
and he was spectacular. Holy cow! When you think about how old he is, he doesn't act it on stage. Does not act his age. He sounds great. His voice sounds great. It was a great show, and it was at the Count Basie Theater. That's where I saw him in Red Bank, and he was fantastic. Joe Bonamassa, just words can't describe that man's ability. whatsoever. His drummer I know is Anton Fig, who used to be with the Letterman band.
Oh,
You are correct.
Because I've
You're
Ace
absolutely
Frehley, too.
correct.
because I've interviewed Anton before. He's a great guy himself. Very, very polite man. Very, very knowledgeable. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you was I saw that Seeger show last Friday, my friend, and
Yes.
it was for me it was a very emotional event because he wrote a lot of tunes that really meant a lot to my youthful days, as far as a musician goes, and just everyday life. And when he walked off that stage, so did my younger self. But
That's tough.
he was
That's
great,
tough.
man. And I heard the show at the Garden was great as well. So, all right, Dave the Rave, traffic and weather, rock and roll review. We greatly appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Danny, and I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate your show, and I appreciate your listeners. Danny and I are two people that love radio and love rock and roll, and we're just trying to get our names out there. We're hoping to turn this love into a job,
There you go.
and that's what this is all about.
Into cash dollars. Yeah, when you love what you do and do what you love, it's not work, right?
Exactly.
They should.
You know what? Somebody in that room, please give him a high five. Danny is dead on. God bless.
He's coughing
Hey.
all over. Yeah, don't. Barth is going to hit me. Don't tell him to give me a high
True.
five.
Yeah, I'm probably the only one, and I'm
For you, would definitely hit me.
Yeah,
All right, Dave the Rave, man. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Rock on, my friend.
Rock on. Bye-bye.
There you go. Dave the Rave's Rock and Roll Review featuring New York traffic and weather. Boy, what a combo that is. I know when you listen to a rock and roll review, you want to know traffic.
You gotta
and
know
weather.
traffic.
Of course.
I mean, it's just common sense. Everyone knows
Poor
this.
Dave. Put him up to that.
He did very well, didn't he?
It's excellent because that's who he is.
I didn't hear anything
You
about
put
that.
him up to it.
I heard nothing about the Triborough Bridge, so I'm totally just really disappointed.
Oh.
And the George Washington Bridge, I know that was packed.
Well, they
Lincoln
talked to you
Tunnel,
about
I mean, there's so
the
many.
British,
Dave, don't listen.
the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. The British Queens Expressway. I can't even-
You couldn't do traffic
Paul
and weather.
Revere
You
was
just
on that.
tried.
If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. I'm Danny Coleman. Our guest tonight is Rick Barth. For those of you watching us on YouTube, which they can find how, Art?
By going to City of Angels Radio, and you'll see the YouTube link right on the left-hand side.
COARadio.com. We'll have the Deuce Music Minute in about 20 minutes at 8 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. We have a Nashville-based artist this evening. Chloe Collins will be the feature. You were talking about pedal steel. Last night we had another Hopewell Hayride. We have another one this coming Saturday. They're instead of every other week, they're two in a row.
Because of Thanksgiving.
They're two in a row because of the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States. And I MC the event, and Art and Claire engineer it and produce it.
With
Paul is
Mhm.
the great sound man over there. You can hear it live this coming Friday. What time, Art?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock this coming Friday, right here on COA Radio. That'll be Friday the 15th. Yep, Friday the 15th, 6 p.m. Or you can go to the COARadio.com and look on the tab, click on the Hayride tab, right?
Right, and all the shows that we have, this will be the third one.
You
They'll
can
be up.
hear that. And if
Yeah.
you're a fan of old time country or bluegrass,
You can listen to them all. They're all there on demand.
And you can
There
look
you
at
go.
and you have download the app too.
As with Danny's show, you can go to Rock on Radio show, and all these shows are there on demand.
all of our shows are on demand.
This is amazing.
As opposed
Notice
to being
it-
in demand.
I was going to say, notice he didn't say in demand. We are on demand. Our guest tonight is Rick Barth, and he is very much in demand. What are your websites and social media and all that? How do we find you?
Well, somebody can go to rickbarthnj.com, and
Is there a Rick Barth PA?
I hope not.
Okay.
I mean, there could be, I suppose. I don't know why I put the NJ.
All right. I
Yeah,
just want to
kinda-
make sure.
I kind of localized what I do.
I guess.
It definitely took the global aspect out.
Well, if you wanted to do that, could have been like Rick Bart's couch.
That's true.
It's
Which is
really
probably more-
localizing.
which is more appropriate, I think. But I mean, and from there, rickbarthnj.com, they can find Facebook and Twitter and all the usual social media haunts. But that's where most,
You have a YouTube channel?
I do.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah, I think it's youtube.com Rick B Acoustic. But again, if you go to the website,
There's
It'll take
links
you-
up
yeah.
to that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got this new album called Fade. And if anybody would like a copy, 609-241-7103. We'll send you out a copy along with some Rock on Radio tchotchkes and all kinds of things that I have to dig up because I'm running out of merch
Ooh, fun.
desperately.
You better order some more.
Bart's got the new Rock on Radio. He's got the Rock on Radio car magnets,
Woo.
which you can put on your fridge or your car, or somebody, if you have a relative has
And
steel
magnetic.
plate in their head, put that there.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, that'd be awesome if you had that. It's like,
Hit replacements and walking around.
Just don't go near the microwave. I used to threaten my grandmother with the microwave. She had a pacemaker.
that just got dark. Wow.
Sorry, I had to go there
To chase her around the house
with an ice pick. Yeah.
with a microwave.
Can only go like 3 feet
Plugged
to the
in.
wall. Be like, get over here. Don't make me start this. 10
It's
feet away
actually
from you.
it's actually the same grandmother I ran over with the car,
like a reindeer?
like accidentally.
Grandma got run over by.
So ultimately, you were acquitted of all charges, is what you're telling
And
us.
that's the one I liked.
Oh, no.
Ultimately, you were left out of the will.
There was no will.
There was a will to do
There's-
bodily harm.
That's right.
That's about it.
But that's another story for another time.
Thankfully.
So, okay, so now you have Fade.
Yep.
And you said it took you. You said something that again struck me oddly. That you really got into these songs. That you when you
I
started
lived with them for a long time.
Yeah, that's it. What it was. You lived with them.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? Define that? What do you mean by lived with?
So with Hand Me Down Soul, and I kind of bounced one off the other because one was an experience and this one was a different experience. So I always I always compare the two. With Hand Me Down Soul, it was like I had written songs relatively in a short period, about a year and a half, and jumped in and recorded them in the same kind of chaotic or really quick manner, and didn't know what I was going to do or how it worked or how recording an album would be. As soon as it was finished, and as much work as it was, I couldn't wait to do it again. It's like a tattoo. Once you do one, you're like, I can't wait to do the next one.
Like I see what you got
Right,
going
what's going on?
Very good.
And so like I said with Fade, I pretty much started writing right away. Just now down to one pick. I started writing right away and got a few songs together, and just started playing them live as a matter of doing a lot of Hand Me Down Soul promotion. I started throwing those songs in there. So I've been playing them live since almost that album, Hand Me Down Soul, came out. So by the time it got, I had wanted to do Fade, and I kept saying, I'm going to do it this year. And that was 2015, 2016, same thing. It's coming. 2017, it's coming. Almost started. And, it was 2019. It was just this past August where I actually released it. But all the while, I've been playing those songs and more live. So there was definitely a sense of how the song should go when I went to record it. I kind of already had it mapped out in my head. This is the verse, this is the chorus, this is the bridge. It goes back to here. It should be that. With Hand Me Down Soul, it was kind of like, sure, that's fine. We'll do 2 choruses and a verse and we'll get out. We'll call that a song. This was more already fully realized, and I knew how I wanted to record it. That said, I was always open to suggestions by Keith, who produced it with me, or any of the musicians that came in and played on it. If they had said, oh, what if I did this? You're the pedal steel guy. You're the violinist. I trust you to do what I asked you to do. But again, the songs were kind of already understood in my brain how they were going to kind of be, right? And we just had to chase that vision or that sound, which I think we accomplished.
Okay. Now, for you, well, how did you arrive at these players? First of all, I mean, did you? Well, where'd you record it?
My buddy Keith Dunham has a studio in his home. It's called I go to Riptide Studios. I couldn't get it off the top of my
There
head.
it is, Riptide,
Riptide Studios in Ledgewood, and
Ledgewood. Okay.
he was actually one of the first guys I reached out to about Hand Me Down Soul, and just schedules didn't work and we couldn't do it. So when it came time to do this, I said, "Hey Keith, I'm getting ready to do Fade, and it's just gonna be me with the acoustic." And I sold him on that, and then I was like, "Oh, by the way, there's also an electric pedal steel violin." So I threw all these other things at him, and he took it on because he wanted to kind of get a sense of how do I record a pedal steel, how do I record a lap steel. So and he did an amazing job because he didn't have any frame of reference. Everything was in my head. I'd say, okay, just set the metronome to this, and I'll put down the acoustic, and then you'll kind of get the sense. I don't think he knew how the song actually sounded until like the vocals were down after everything else had been recorded. He's like, "Oh, it's a ballad." So, I'm indebted to him because he took that on and really helped shape the direction I was going, and not knowing where I was headed. That's a big task to do. I kept telling him, just trust me, we'll get there. I hope. I hope. I kind of, sort of.
Now, did you know any of these players on here? Were they?
I do an acoustic singer-songwriter series, which anybody that may be listening, some Shelly and Kevin earlier, they've all played these shows for me, which are shows I put together at various venues around the state and into Pennsylvania. That they're singer-songwriters, and I'm a big supporter of original music. So I get 8 to 10 performers come on and do the show, and it's either themselves that come to play, or they'll bring a friend of theirs to play their set, like Dawn Patrick, who played the violin on Damage and on Change. When she was playing her set with Rick Kruger, who's also on the album, I said to her, "I'm going to steal you for 10 minutes. You're going to come play on my album." And she graciously said, "I'd love to do it." And all of those people did. So I knew most of them through shows that I'd done, or friend of a friend. Wayne Wilson, who played pedal steel, was a friend of mine, Brian Piper, and I put out on Facebook, "Hey, I need a pedal steel guy." Everybody said Wayne. So I reached out. I said, "You mind helping out?" He's like, "I'd love to do it." So he came in, I sent him the skeletal structure of the song. He came in and one night played 2-3 songs and knocked it out of the park. So peripherally is the answer. Either I knew them through other shows, or like Ralph Heiss, who's a longtime friend of mine, played bass on some tracks.
Okay.
Actually, Kevin just responded that he loved that song and he covers it in your honor. And then he also said only for the record, he only gave you grief for making us wait so long for it.
Yeah, Kevin's a good guy. He's a huge supporter of mine, and it's guys like him that really drove me to finally finish this. Not only because they wanted to hear it, but to just shut them up.
Well, why don't we shut them up even further and do some more music? What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
You want to do a live one?
Totally up to you, my friend.
Is it ready to? Can we queue up track? I think it's 12. Damage.
Damage.
Yes,
Damage.
please.
Now this features Dawn Patrick
Yes,
on the
it is.
violin. Okay.
But real quick, when I wrote this song, I kind of had to say I want to do like a finger pick ballady kind of thing. And when I recorded, it was just me and the guitar, and it was like, okay, it's a decent song. But when she put the violin on it, it just took it to the next level. And I was like, wow, that's it. That's the song. So it's all of those musicians on this album that, to me, took it to that next place, right? That I couldn't get it to. So I'm indebted for that.
Okay. This is Rock on Radio. Our guest is Rick Barth. His new album is Fade, and this is a song called
Damage.
There You Go.
Came in like a hurricane, gone just as fast, left behind the pain. I wanted you to look at me, like you used to do. But now I finally see I can't let you on me. I can't let you in. I won't let you tell me that you love me. Damage me again. Don't know where we might have gone. I don't know where we've been. I know we've just moved on. Throw away the memories of what was you and I. Do you care why? Can't let you on me. I can't let you in. I won't let you tell me that you love me. Damage me again. I can't let you wait. I can't let you in. I won't let you tell me that you love me. Damage me again.
Rick Barth and
Ooh.
Damage off of his new disc Fade right here on Rock On Radio.
It was
Have you-
beautiful.
Hmm?
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, she did a very nice job. Very nicely
Amazing
done.
job.
Have you been on any radio programs since this came out, or are these all radio debuts?
I might have done one or two. I honestly don't remember anymore. Everything's running together. I think I did. I think I might have done one or two.
Should be a politician, Barth.
Yeah, never give
Don't answer
names.
the. Don't
Barth. I just called him Barth.
answer.
I've been calling him Barth all night. Oh, it just got slipped out.
I've been called worse. I've been called a lot worse.
Not by me.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Actually, you and I met a few years back because of our commonality of
Very
Rick,
good friend,
of Rick
yeah.
Winnow.
Yep.
And I hope he's listening tonight, or we'll have to give him grief.
Absolutely.
For
we
that.
will.
I
Even if he is
haven't
listening,
heard anything yet.
even if he is listening, we'll give him grief. I
Yeah, true. We could do that. Rick is a friend of this program, and I'm really sorry actually that you could not open, or that you couldn't be part of our 10th anniversary bash.
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
originally booked it, and then schedule things got in the way with family. It's just like I can't make it,
I
and I still regret that. Even when I reached out to do this, It's like, man, I really wish I did that 10th anniversary show. It just looked like so much fun.
We did
It
have
was.
a
Yeah.
blast.
That was good.
It was a great night. All the musicians were great. Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown kicked it off. We ended up with Joe Weimer and wise guy, and it was a great night. You know, Art got to actually just you got to sit back and relax for a change instead of
It was nice.
we had a merch table all set up.
See,
We had cake and
cake. Now I'm upset that I missed it.
Oh, and it
Couple
was
cakes,
cake.
man, they were all really good.
It was confections of a rock star cake.
Wow.
And who is the guy that just came into town? The
Guy
culinary. Yeah. No. White hair guy. Oh,
Could be good.
the one that always yells at everybody.
oh, the one that's on the 18th, the cell phone commercial. Use a cocktail stick. Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. That's right. He just came and he brought macaroons from her shop, and he said it was amazing shop in town, most amazing shop in town. So he brought made her day, made Kimmy's day.
Yep, she provided 100 cupcakes
Mhm.
that said "Rock On" them, and this chocolate cake that.
Said chalk on.
Remember when Superman went back to his planet and all those things were sticking
Yeah,
out?
did.
She had candy bars sticking in the chocolate candy bars.
Yep.
Fortress of Solitude.
Yep.
Crystals.
That's right.
Yes. But yeah, so I was sorry you couldn't make that, but you're a working musician, man. I get it.
Working musician, family, real time, job, all that stuff. So,
Family.
yeah.
Ugh. Holidays are coming.
Yep.
Ugh.
It happens.
Right. So when you sit down, again, you said you lived with these tunes for 3 years, better part of 3 years. When you write your material,
Right.
how do you do it? Are you the kind of person that, like we had Jeff Fiedler in here from
Mhm.
Aqualung Records
Okay.
last week, and Patricia was in between.
I know. Gosh, it seems like so much longer than last week.
We had him in there last week, and he wrote a tune based on a line that Claire said.
It was so cool.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
it happens, yeah.
that's got to be the line. That's got to be a line in a song. So he built a whole song off of that.
Right.
Other people, wait till they go through some tragedy or triumph, or somebody they know goes through a tragedy or triumph,
Right.
and they write something off of that. Most of the time, it's misery that gets
I think
people
so.
to songwrite, out of sadness or tribute to somebody. What does it for you?
Well, I think all of what you said is correct, and I
Well,
think
there
that.
you go.
But what I mean by that is I think after you've been writing songs for a long while, you get keyed into phrases that somebody might say or something you hear. You're like, that's a pretty good song title. For example, the opening track for Fade, we had fun, didn't we? I was at a Colin Hay show in the city, and he was talking about playing him at work, and he told this rambling story, which I'm very apt to do myself. And when he got to the end, he said, "But we had fun, didn't we?" I was like, "God, that's a great song title," and I wrote it down and remembered it. So I think you tend to hear those things and you remember them. As far as sad songs, happy songs, I don't really write very many happy songs, and it's not because I'm not a happy person, but I think I can channel the one emotion more than the other. There's times where I write a song and people say, "Is your marriage okay? Do you guys need counseling?" I'm like, "No, I'm not in a."
It usually
in a bad
comes
way."
from his wife. Are we okay, Rick?
I said, "I'm not in a bad way. It's just I channeled that emotion. I think in a different way than anything else, and it's not necessarily I don't want to say factual, but it's not a true story from soup to nuts. It might be a sliver of an idea that I've remembered or that I see somebody else going through, and then I go from there. So it kind of comes from everywhere, which is why I said the answer to your question is yeah, all of that, because I think it comes from all of these places. Mostly, I start with a lyrical idea and then craft the chords around it.
Gotcha. Speaking of which, and we'll get back to this when we come back. We got to go to the Deuce Music Minute right now.
Mhm.
But Last time he was here, actually,
Mhm.
was when I gave him that line, and I said, "Bart, you're the man to make a song about this." How's that coming along? That's what I thought.
It's
Yeah.
about a year overdue, I think.
So my daughter handed me. I said, my daughter handed me a box of memories today. When she
Okay.
gave me all
You
that-
remember that?
Yeah. Well, it just struck me when you said, something that'll
So-
kick off
so-
that thing about Colin Hay.
Clearly, I was full of crap because I would have remembered that if you told me.
All right, we're gonna do the Deuce Music Minute, and then we're gonna get back to our guest Rick Barth here this evening. Tonight's Deuce Music Act is country pop artist Chloe Collins, who is based out of Nashville, Tennessee, right here in the United States. Chloe has a brand new single out. It is called "Didn't Want You." Now, she started singing as a toddler, followed by picking up guitar at the age of 8. She's been influenced by the likes of Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, and has already had one of her tracks featured on the ABC family television show The Vineyard, and on the 100th episode of Nashville on country music television. Quoted as being country pop poetry that is reminiscent of the early days of Taylor Swift, coupled with the inventiveness of Ed Sheeran. You can find further information on Chloe at her Facebook page, her Twitter, or her Instagram, which are all Chloe Collins Music. Wait, Facebook is Chloe Collins Music. Chloe with an H, CHLOE. Music. Twitter is Chloe Collins MUS, and Instagram is Chloe Collins Music. Well, right now, here is her brand new single, which is called "Didn't Want You," here on the Deuce Music Minute on Rock On Radio.
When we met, you had a broken heart. You were looking for someone to heal your scars. And I wanted to be the one to show you how to love again. I was falling, I was all in, you kept calling, but you keep hanging on to what you had. It ain't fair to keep me hanging on when you ain't moving on. She's gone, but you're still looking back. So tell me why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. Why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. I guess timing is everything. Needed someone to numb the pain. But every time you look at me, I know there's somewhere else you'd rather be. I was falling, I was falling, you kept calling, but you keep hanging on to what you had. It ain't fair to keep me hanging on when you ain't the Lord. She's gone, but you're still back. So tell me why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. Why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. Tell me why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. Why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you. She let you down, she let you go. Lock the door, boy, you should know that she don't love you like I do. Why you want the girl that didn't want you, didn't want you?
Chloe Collins here on the Deuce Music Minute. You can find her on her social media, just Chloe Collins Music,
Mhm.
except for
Simple.
Twitter, which is Chloe Collins Muse. But many thanks to our good buddy Rob at Deuce Music Management. If any bands want their promotion to be handled by Deuce Music, go to deucemusic.com and or Deuce Music Management, deucemusic.com, I believe it is. I actually clicked off that page right now, but
Just deucemusic.com.
just deucemusic.com. Okay. And you can check out if you want their help, just tell them you heard about it on Rock On Radio. Otherwise, don't tell them at all. But whatever you do, tell them. Rob, can't thank Rob enough for sending us. He sends us artists every week. So where are we gonna put this one? We'll put this one right here next to Rick Barth.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Our cute little new marquee.
I know.
Very
He's the first
nice.
one. You're the first one on our marquee, man.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you. Thank
See?
you.
It's
It's-
exciting.
And it's spelled right, which is awesome. I mean, all the letters are on the floor, so it's. I pulled back the curtain. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I did spell
you did.
it. It
You
could have been
did.
like Rock Barth, you know.
That's true. That would be my medal,
Or-
my wrestling name.
Your wrestling
Or
name.
Rick
My
on.
Or your
WWE.
Flintstones name.
Wow.
Rock Barth.
Wow.
Wow.
Way out.
Stony Curtis
and Margot.
and Margaret.
Oh, that's
Twitch.
awesome. That's awesome. Probably like 12 people that know what we're talking about.
Art's
They're all
like
over 50.
Art's Mr. Slate. He's in charge of the business.
He was a short
Is tied like reaching down to his knee,
Hey, Bonnie.
which did make sense that the Great Kazoo showed up because it was like, where did that come from? It's
Well,
like, that made no sense.
I guess they were able to time travel.
Did
I
any
don't
of
know.
them make any sense?
Well, that's true. I mean, it is
Clever,
Dino
but-
and all them.
yeah.
So I guess you had to suspend belief in reality for a minute, but still.
Doris the Finkosaurus.
Wow, that's deep.
Wow,
That's-
I
That's
can't
deep
remember.
Flintstones right there.
It is. I don't remember back then.
Schlep Rock.
That's why he gets paid the big dollar.
See? That's it.
It's on the
Finding
board.
sound.
Cue them up. All right. So, well, why don't we do some of your tunes? Do another one of your tunes.
All right.
Let's do that.
You want to do a live one?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. We'll do some more Barth music. We're kind of like in a loosey goosey mode here this evening.
That's usually what happens on the show.
This is
Everybody
true.
throws decorum out the window.
You gotta love it. Not that we ever had any of that, but you gotta love it.
There's no pretense. There's no
No.
pretense.
No.
Pretense. It's just intense.
That's the name of the song. It's called "There's No Pretense." Actually, it's a box of memories. What was it? What's it supposed to be? I
Oh,
have to
no.
write that down before I leave
Oh, here we go. I'll text it to
for the 2028 show.
you.
I'll be like, "Here's that song you commissioned 25 years ago.
You have faith in us that we'll still be here.
You have faith that I'll be here."
Hey, I didn't expect to make it to 10 years, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you
So
put on a
it's-
good show. So and you support the songwriter. So that's important.
Yeah, we try. We try. What do
All
you
right.
have?
I'm gonna do the title track, "Fade."
Ooh. Rick Barth.
Never had it easy, see it to the end. Besides the promise you made me, was it in my hand? Hang on to the moment of the love we made. Asking you know we said some things people shouldn't say. Even if you take them back, still hurt just the same. No, it won't be easy. You'll be glad you stayed. Hoping you will remember me. I'm hoping you won't fade. Love is never easy. It isn't supposed to be. Yes, it's something worth fighting for. Even when you don't believe. Hang on to the moments of the life we made. Hoping you will remember me. Hoping you won't fade.
Rick Barth here on Rock On Radio. Yeah. So have you gotten to that point yet where you can play out the majority of, I mean, I know when you do gigs, you know, you do covers, but you also, have you gotten to the point where you're doing half and half yet?
I do a lot of mostly all original shows now. I'm kind of
Wow,
trying to make
beautiful.
that transition to do more of the original stuff. The cover things are fun, and you know, it keeps my voice strength. And I don't really do covers necessarily true to the cover necessarily, true to the original song. I do tweak them for my voice or for whatever. But yeah, I'm trying to make that hard not hard transition, but you know, go 60-40, 70-30, 80-20,
Mhm.
trying to get more and more to the original.
I remember the first band that I was in, we did nothing but write original material. We played cover tunes also, but we wanted to start working our originals in.
Right.
And it got to the point where we would do like one a set, and we were only doing 2 sets a
Right.
night.
Right.
Then it was like, well, let's try 3 in the first set, and we'll try 2 in the second set.
Yep.
Then eventually it got to the point where we were doing 5 or 6 out of the, 12 or 14 songs we were doing in the first set.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where more than half the night was original material, and people were digging it. So
I'm pretty sure I could slide in a lot of original material when I do the solo acoustic stuff, because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is in that, Tom Petty and Elton John and Billy Joel and stuff that I like. And some of it's kind of obscure stuff that people may or may not know. So when I throw one of mine in there, like, I guess it's just some song I never heard before. So I can get away with that a lot. But I'm doing a show actually this coming Sunday and at M&M Winery in Bangor, Pennsylvania. It's a 3-hour originals only show.
nice,
So and that's all they want. They don't want covers. They want just originals.
good.
And when I did the first, this will be the third one I've done. When I did the first one, it's like, do I even have 3 hours of originals?
Oh, so it's just you?
It's just
for
me
3
playing
hours.
for 3 hours. Yeah.
Nice.
So it turns out I do have enough material for 3 hours. But it was really like one of those. Let me dust out the basement and see what I got out there. And it turns out I had more than I thought I did. So it was a nice exercise to be able to say I could do this if I wanted to.
I would say so. That's
Yeah.
great. 609-241-7103. If anybody wants to give us a call this evening, take home a copy, or stay in your home. I'll send it to you. Of Fade by Rick Barth. What are your websites and social media and all that
So
stuff?
it's rickbarthnj.com, rickbarthnj.com. I think Facebook's Rick B Acoustic, Twitter's Rick B Acoustic. So it's Rick letter
Barth.
B.
Oh, is it? No,
Yeah.
it's Rick Barth.
It should be Rick B Acoustic.
Really?
I think it is. I don't know.
Twitter, I
It
just
came
had
up. I just put. I
It's-
thought it was Rick
yes,
Barth Acoustic.
It could be.
It's Rick B.
Is
Rick
it?
B Acoustic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not very consistent,
I
which is
copied and
terrible for
pasted it.
marketing.
So
Oh, there you go. We got a caller. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Hi, Danny. How's everybody?
Hey, it's Terry out in Missouri. Hey, what's happening, Terry?
I'm good. Hi, Rick.
How you doing? How
Yeah,
you doing?
we haven't heard from you in forever. How you been?
I'm good. I've been listening. I'm tuned in. I've been off and on.
Well, that's good. We are glad to hear it. Now, do you have a copy of Rick's first album, Hand Me Down Soul?
No.
Okay, so that's it's. Oh, turn your computer down, Ter. There you go. What you
Okay,
got?
I
there?
got it.
There you go. There. Oh, good. Okay. Well, you know what, Terry? None of us have a copy of Rick's first album because he's all out of them. But we do have his second album.
Ah,
We
no
do.
way.
We do have the one that he's here promoting tonight, Fade, which I will gladly send to you. Out in
Okay.
Cuba, Missouri. Yes, Terry's in Cuba.
Really?
Cuba, Missouri.
Cuba, Missouri.
all right.
See? Which is located where in relevance to St. Louis?
I'm about 55 miles east of St. Louis.
Ah, so we would get to her first before we got to St. Louis.
I'm sorry, west of St. Louis. My bad.
Oh, we'd get to her last.
St. Louis first.
We get to her second. Okay. So what else is happening? You got any questions
Oh,
for
not a
Mr.
whole-
Barth?
Huh?
You have a question for Rick while I got you on the phone?
Yeah, I would like to know who was your major inspiration in your music line?
Sure. Well, I mean,
Besides Danny.
Besides
well,
me?
Danny Coleman, of course.
Of course.
I mean, that's the pat answer you have
Danny's
to
the drummer.
give. I mean, for me,
Who is your music influence in your life?
my biggest influence is a guy named Butch Walker, who not a lot of people know, but a lot of people have heard his music and don't even realize it. He's a producer that's done a lot of people, Train and Pink and all these other folks, but he's a phenomenal singer-songwriter in his own right. But also more popular folks that people may know is Tom Petty's has always been a huge influence on my songwriting. And I still love hard rock and metal. I mean, I've been a Kiss fan since I was 15 years old, so I'm sure that finds its way in there too.
Well, I like your music. I've been listening and I enjoyed it. It was very nice and I liked it.
I appreciate the compliments. Thank you very much.
And I'm a country fan anyway. I love country music.
As do I. I mean, I was saying to Danny before, growing up, I heard a lot of Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and Travis Tritt, and all those guys. That's all that's it baked into the pie somewhere, and it makes its way out.
The
Yes.
Outlaws.
The Outlaws. There you go.
All good. Nothing wrong with country music. Not
Country
not
rock.
one bit.
That's it.
Mhm.
The Outlaws and Charlie Daniels at the Count Basie and Red Bank.
Very
The
good.
night I saw them, they were both fantastic. All right, Tara. Well, you know what? It is always a pleasure to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're doing well. And I will send you a copy of the disc.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm alive and living on planet Earth.
Okay. I'll send you a copy of that. Do you have a Rock On Radio car magnet or no?
No, I do have one of your small radio magnets. I got a couple of them.
Okay. All right. Is that the yeah?
They're
They're just a little the ovals, right?
the little refrigerator magnets.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you have them. Trying to think of what else I could send to you. Pen. I think she's
You
got the Rock On
You got any
Radio
new
pen.
T-shirts?
No, I'm down to like my last 3 T-shirts, and they're I think
Oh,
2 mediums and a small.
I'll take the small.
There you go.
nice.
But
Watch your car.
he'll wash his car with it.
I wasn't gonna. He went there. I didn't go there. I said, "Nah, I'm gonna let that one go by."
Well, I will find something and send it to you, Terry. How's that?
Okay, works for me.
There you go. And we'll send out a copy of the disc and for you to enjoy.
Thanks again, Terry. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. All right, Terry.
Ask Rick if he can autograph it.
Oh.
Sure, I can do that. And now you're gonna make me spell. That's just. Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course. I'd love to do it. Thank you.
There you go. Perfect. So I'll give this back to you then. All right, Terry. Rock on.
Rock on, Danny.
There
Thanks.
you go. Thank you. Thank you for listening. See? That's it.
That's nice.
She's our loyalist. I think her and Jody Weber are our two
Mhm.
most loyal listeners.
That's some of the cool. Like when you know when I play songs for people that I know, I half expect them to say, "Oh, that's nice," even if they don't like it, just because they're friends or family. Of course they.
Mhm.
do. But when somebody you don't know says they like what you do,
Mhm.
it's always to me
From
first though it's like really,
Mm-hmm.
and then secondly it's like just really cool to hear.
From Cuba,
Mhm. All the way from Cuba.
West of St. Louis.
Yes.
west,
Mhm.
east-west of St. Louis,
Mhm.
which is
And
kind of in the middle.
To
Yeah.
qualify,
Qualify what?
Rick's music page on Facebook is at Rick Barth.
Is it?
Acoustic.
Yeah, I suck. I'm
And
terrible.
his
I have no
personal
consistency at all.
Is at, well, your personal page. I mean, you're just to be
Right,
your
right.
friend is Rick B. Acoustic.
See that?
So I was right,
Okay.
and you were right.
Well, I'm talking about Twitter. I don't know what his Facebook was.
No, his Facebook
Twitter
is both.
Rick
They
B.
both go.
Acoustic. Yeah.
I'm terrible. You know,
I don't do
and my
Twitter.
and my Instagram page is Scott Williams. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
Scott Williams is a good friend of mine. That's why I popped in my head. He's gonna get a whole bunch of messages like "you stink." They're not gonna lie.
Ah, you know what? I want to hear more music. I can't get enough Rick Barth here this evening. Why don't we do some more? What do you think? You can do one live?
I'll do one live because
All right.
I know you like this
Our friend
Okay.
Jeff Friedman, who we saw last night, is also listening.
Oh,
And,
good.
He found us cool to watch live on YouTube.
one. I'll do this one.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. Had to do. I'm sorry. Isn't that amazing? Up 4 notes. Everybody's like, I know that song.
Led Zeppelin.
Everybody
That's
just
it.
knows. Anyways, this is I'll play this one for Dave. When the sun comes up, I get to thinking. Been up all night, just tired and drinking. The answers to my questions just out of reach. Know they're out there waiting, but I can't see. And you know I gotta get up and go. It's hard to keep going, God's I'm showing. Feels like I'm wearing and me down so, and me down so. Life it takes its twists and turns. Think I've got it then I learn. Done my best to make it through this life. Dealt with pain and heartbreak and all your life. Ain't easy when I get feeling old. It's hard to keep going, God's I'm showing. Feels like I'm wearing and me down so, and me down so. Will it get better? I wonder. And if it doesn't, will it matter? I didn't want to clip the microphone. I don't regret the choices I'm living. Done the best with what I've been given. I look into the mirror, it looks back at me. It's easier than looking things I can't see. You know I gotta get up and go. When I feel tied down, I take a look around. I'll keep on wearing and me down so, and me down so, and me down so, and me down so. Thanks.
No, thank you. I get goosebumps when you start doing that stuff, man. My arms, they're not usually this ugly or bumpy or hairy for that matter. What the heck happened?
He did give you goosebumps.
It is almost
Ratio.
a full moon.
It's I'm telling you. Oh, thank you, man. That was off your first album.
That's the
Hand Me
title.
That Title Cut, Hand Me Down Soul. Now, do you see the difference in the two when he did that? You see the difference in the two discs, even with him playing acoustically. You know, you watching at home, with him playing acoustically, you know, there seems to be more power in the second ones.
Well,
Like-
they've been played a lot more, so
Okay.
I don't even think about
Which
it.
probably made a huge difference when you went in the studio.
Yeah.
Because you were definitely more prepared. You had an
Absolutely.
idea, you fiddle faddled.
Yeah, there was. I mean, we still didn't. Keith and I didn't make a habit of beating a dead horse. You know, I still have a rule of look, if you can't get it in 3-4 takes, you're not doing it today. You know, Hand Me Down Soul was like 2 takes.
Right.
It's like if I don't have it, then we're moving on. But this one was, yeah, it was more lived in. So I kind of was able to fumble through it a lot easier.
Now, have you started a third one?
So I play in a band called The Line, and it's an all original band, and we're gonna be eventually recording. Our drummer Andrews, he just had a baby. Well, not him, his wife had
Oh,
a
I was
baby. so we're
Probably
kind
gonna be laid up for a while.
I would say, because there's only a
Man.
couple of holes a baby can come out of. So.
Neither are worth it.
No.
Or just the fact that he's a man.
So exactly right. See, she knows her.
Anatomy.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I started and I missed it. So we're kind of on a hiatus until the end of the year and through the holidays. So we're going to do that album, which will be 9 songs of more up-tempo rock kind of stuff. And then I got probably another 2 albums worth of stuff written. I just got to figure out how to do that and do that. I want to do it a lot quicker than Fade, but I'm not going to put I'm not going to say, hey, it's coming out soon, and then take 3 years and get abused by guys like Kevin and other good friends. So it'll come out when it's ready to come out. You know? But that one, not the Line one, but the other one it's just going to be. I think that's going to be a little bit more sparse or a mix. Some songs might be a little bit more produced, some might not. I may not do it as a full length. I may just put out EPs here and there, just because if I do another full length after the Line album, I could be 55, 56 years old before I get to it. And I don't want, I want to put music
be
out
that
more
old.
often. No, well, no, I don't say that as a bad thing, but I have so many songs I want to get out. And I just he's looking at me like, you, Brad.
No, he's looking at me like that, not you.
To me, I can't take the 3 years again,
Oh, God, because by 50, look at me, I'm 56. I'm decomposing right in front of you, man.
You said you got things all over your arm. You're not painting a rosy picture there, Dave. Got me thinking about it.
That's all she had to hear.
Uh-huh. I jumped right into that.
But I mean, if you look at it, like even national acts, they're rarely putting out full albums anymore. It's a single here, 4 songs there. Is that the way it's going to be? And who knows? I mean, you kind of said it yourself. You're like, hey, it's a full length. That's awesome. I don't know.
I think so, because I'd rather, if you like an artist,
you want to hear as much as you can.
you want to hear, and you want to hear what they've got. I mean, 3 songs is not enough to satiate a fan, I don't think.
Plus a full length it's there should be some kind of
Concept to it.
and not even anything
Continuity.
right. Nothing is
Yeah.
as strong as like The Wall or Operation Mindcrime or something where it's like this is a story from start to finish. But there's a sense of cohesion among these songs because they were all kind of written in the same time period.
Right.
That if you do 3 songs here, 3 songs there, another song here, there's real no linkage between them. I think.
But no,
you know.
I totally agree with what you're saying.
So, but on the same token, or on the other hand, you know, it took me a long time to get from Hand Me Down Soul to Fade. It was a 3-year stretch. I don't know that I want to do that again. So I'm always kind of going, all right, do I want to do another full length or do I want to just do singles or who the heck knows? Again, I don't plan that far ahead. So
No, that.
Nope.
Nothing.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
See, I feel kind of like Ronald Reagan. I might even look like him these days. But,
well, not,
He's
not
dead.
these days. These days, he's probably half the man he used to be.
at least.
Oh.
I didn't kill him.
But the reason why I say that is because Ronald Reagan, everybody raised an actor,
Right.
he ain't gonna be a good praise actor. But Ronald Reagan was brilliant in the fact that he surrounded himself with good people. See,
Yeah.
now as much as some of them beat me up,
It's our job.
I have good people here. These two, Art and Claire, and it allows you to
I'm a firm believer in that.
to be, to be whatever,
be yourself.
to be me instead of Ronald Reagan.
Right.
Well,
There are days.
hello, mommy. But with you now, I mean, you've got yourself a nice little production team, and now you've got some quality musicians, and through your songwriter series. So as you go, it should get easier.
Yes and no, but I don't want to. Yes, because I have a lot of friends that I could ask to help out, and even if they don't play, it's a lot of it is, hey, what do you think of this? Like I can use their ear to kind of get a gauge of if I'm heading down the right way. But I also don't want to have it become like where it's the Rick Barth Players, and it's every song sounds the same. I think why these 2 albums are different is because it's a different band, other than Ralph really playing bass, but it's a wholly different set of people playing on it, other than myself,
Right.
which gives it that link between one album and the next. But I don't want the next album to be like, oh, well, he got the same people to play pedal steel and violin, So
I just interviewed a fellow by the name of Joe Louis Walker.
Okay.
Actually, yesterday afternoon. Joe is a blues guy,
Mhm.
born in the San Francisco Bay Area in the mid 40s. Been playing music his entire life. And we had a really good discussion about when he was an up and coming musician in the Bay Area was, around the time of Hyde Ashbury. And
yeah, okay.
he said, people, music changed the climate and the climate changed the music, and it was adaptive and so on and so forth. But, he was telling, he was talking to me about kind of how I asked him if his band was it different now, because I haven't been probably about a year and a half or so, 2 years since I interviewed him. I said, still got the same band? You got different guys? He said, well, I still got this guy, and this guy, but I've also brought in this one and this one.
Mhm.
And he said to me, bringing in new players, whether it's on purpose or because somebody left to pursue, he
Right.
said, number one, I wear it as a badge of honor when players from my band, musicians that were perform with me, when they move on to something bigger and better,
Mhm.
because I know that they were schooled.
Right. They cut
With
their teeth
me.
there, yeah.
He said, so I take it as a compliment. He said, I'll never hold anybody back. But he also said that when you get a new player in and you play an older tune,
It has a different life. to
it's a
it.
different light. He goes, it's like what's old is new again.
Yep.
Yeah, it gives it a whole new perspective when you hear a different player.
Couldn't agree more.
So I guess that's great for
Well,
for you.
when the line plays stuff off Hand Me Down Soul, it's a new guitar player in the band. It's a new drummer from the guys that recorded, And Andrew and Mickey just instantly, Mickey the guitarist, Andrew the drummer, it just made it sound, I'll say better, because I think it is. I think it's a better lineup than what we had back then. But Ralph and I instantly knew, wow, this is really good. And then the new songs that they'd written took on a really good life because they just injected that newness, that energy into So now when I bring a song to them, or if they have ideas, I know it'll flesh out to be something pretty special. So yeah, I'm appreciative of all the time of the people that play on the albums or play in the live shows with me or do the acoustic singer-songwriter series, because I'm inspired by those guys every time I watch them play. That's what's cool about doing those singer-songwriter shows.
Right.
The greatest ones make me want to get better, and the ones that are just starting out remind me of how cool it was to be learning how to do some of this stuff, and not to forget, you're not the best one. There's always a chance to get better. And I may not be putting it in the right way, but they bring an enthusiasm that maybe doing this for 20, 30 years, you kind of get a little jaded, like, I'm playing that show again. But for somebody that's just starting out, they're extremely excited to be playing these shows. So it reminds me, it's like, you know what? It's kind of cool to be all over the food chain in this.
Which goes to what I say all the time, life is all truly perspective.
Yeah.
What you think is, like you said, it's the weekly
Yeah.
series. And somebody else is very excited about.
So
Man, I can't wait to get to play that series.
it teaches me not to take it for granted, because it's a cool thing to be able to play original music. There's a lot of cover bands around Jersey, and I know a lot of them, and I appreciate what they do. I do covers and stuff myself, but there's just something special about original bands and the music they put out. And it's unfortunate that not more people seek it out, because they really
Well,
should.
It's what's unfortunate is, unless you're in like Asbury Park or Montclair or
Yeah, there are scenes, absolutely.
so there are very few venues to promote
very true.
your original music.
That's very true.
So it's kind of like a catch-22. Let's do some more music. What do you think?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do one off the album.
All right, go ahead.
How about?
Oh,
Let me see, I want to find something that's good.
choices. It's all good. I mean,
How would we do the first one? We had fun, didn't we?
we had fun, didn't we?
This is the Colin Hay one.
I see. All right, if you're just tuning in, this is Rick Barth. If you want to give us, I'm not Rick Barth. Our guest is Rick Barth.
You can be though, because he's got a lot of bills, so they're past due. You
Join the
might
crowd.
want to get on that.
Oh my gosh, tonight. What am I going to do? 609-241-7103 if you want to give us a call. But this is the opening cut from his brand new album called Fade. And the song is called
We Had Fun, Didn't We?
There You Go.
I was in and you were mine. There's no better way to pass the time. Some spend their lives seeking fortune and fame. I'm so glad we didn't do the same. We may not be all we wanted to be. We may not see all we wanted to see. You may not do any better than me. But we had fun. Didn't we? Give the life is just once around. I'm so happy it's you found. And if tomorrow or the end of time. I'm so happy you are part of mine. We may not be all we wanted to be. We may not see all we wanted to see. We may not do any better than me. But we had fun. Didn't we? May not play among the stars. May not change from who you are. But after all it's been said and done, I wouldn't trade it with anyone. We may not be all you wanted to be. We may not see all you wanted to see. We may not do any better than me. We had fun. Didn't we? Didn't we? Yeah, didn't we? Didn't we?
We had fun, didn't we? Rick Barth.
There is a question mark at the end.
Opening cut. I know. That's why I said it that way. Punctuation is important.
It's it's all how you read it.
Claire, did you have something you needed to say?
Yes, I did.
Actually, we
did.
talked about it
Yeah, we
before the
did.
show, and now
Yes,
here
well,
it is.
I've been talking to my good friend Andy McDonough, and he runs the Jazz List, njjazzlist.com. And he has an event coming up with Salon 33, where live music is at home. And it's,
I thought it was my hair cuttery
yeah, no,
salon.
wrong salon.
33.
It's a jazz salon.
Trey.
And Friday, November 15th at 7 o'clock, there's a percussionist coming in, and he's Japanese, and his wife is a percussionist, and she's, they're both Japanese. And I said, do they play at the same time? Like, can you have two drummers? And he said, no, they switch off. But I'm going to butcher his name entirely. But Yutaka Unshida is his name. And he's a phenomenal drummer, supposedly. And there's a potluck dinner at 7. But I'll post the link out there.
And where is this taking place?
At the Salon 33.
Which is located.
They are not helpful here where that is. It's a private home in Princeton, New Jersey.
Oh, it's in Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It takes
okay.
place in a private home. They go
So
from
it's a
place
house
to
concert.
place. Yes. And if you're a new guest,
Nice
please
house
ask for
concert.
directions when you RSVP or message.
It's like that
Salon
Dr.
33.
Sony thing.
Probably.
Yeah, right?
No charge. Donations help the music happen.
George Harrison will be in my den
So.
at 6 o'clock.
That was still the most amazing house I have ever been.
Pool inside, I heard.
If that house is no longer,
He sold it.
yeah, I believe they live in the city
With another house with a
16 by 32 in-ground pool in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
His garage was bigger than my house.
Yeah.
After my kids took a bath, I had the same thing,
pool. You're right.
but it wasn't planned.
Right. And he also has a guy, David O'Rourke, who lives in Oceanport, who's a guitarist and arranger, and he's doing some great things out there. I'll be posting.
What's the
some
website
things.
again?
This one I want to post out there. Hold on, I just moved.
No, the NJ Jazz.
Yeah, it's njjazzlist.com.
There you
So
go.
there's all
Our
kinds of
buddy
stuff
Andy
out there.
McDonough,
Yep.
courtesy of Joe Patillo
Yep. And Bobby Boyd.
and Bobby Boyd, our good buddy.
I'm trying to
Bobby
get all
Boyd.
three of them in here. Bobby's a drummer too, but I'm trying to get
All right,
them
we'll
in
take
here.
Bobby. I'm
Yes.
not sure about Patillo. He's been here.
He has the vocals. Bobby can
all
only
right,
drum.
we'll bring him
so,
back. Buddy Joe Patillo. I got to get going. I got to come back to Cafe Artiste. I haven't been there in weeks.
That's a great place.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I haven't been there since I
I do
heard
the sound there.
since I wound up in the hospital.
I do. I do the sound
she's
there
the
now.
new sound
you did
person.
tonight.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
That's a great place. Janet
Mhm.
is awesome.
Janet
Yeah,
is
she's amazing.
phenomenal.
I love her.
Yes, you can't love her. I love her.
No, I love her more.
I'm in love with
Sorry.
Janet.
Well, good.
There's
You'll
enough
be in
Janet
love
to
with
go
her.
around now.
Not much. She's tiny.
Fine.
She's tiny.
She's a big heart. She does.
She's
Another
doing
person
a-
that supports original music.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing a
Yes,
great
need
thing.
more.
at
100%,
Cafe
yeah.
Artiste. Yep. Okay. Did you want Art to play that other tune, Invincible?
We could either do that. I mean, about 10.
We got about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
to
I
go.
mean, we could do that, or I could do one live, whichever.
Whatever you want to do.
Were you able to find it, or?
I'll find it right now. I found the Flintstones in like 2 points.
That's true.
Well, you could do one live if you want.
All right.
I'm like I'm hearing all kinds of Rick Barth music in the thing there. Actually, Art, what we can do is after the theme song, if you want, we can play Invincible. If that's easier,
Yeah, well,
we'll do that after we wrap up.
actually, your affiliates probably won't like that.
This is true.
They will no longer be affiliated.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll be
that's right.
cutting it off, and nobody will be here today.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so well, go ahead. You can do
We'll
it.
find it. All right. Well,
Yeah.
this one I can play it like it was on a 78 RPM. This is a- Exactly. It's not on any album, so it's making his radio debut.
Whoa!
Don't need to be that loud. It's called This Again. I wondered how this would feel. Never thought that it'd be real. And how are you here with me? You're still in my memory. Thought I'd know what I'd say. Rehearsed it in a million ways. But all I should really do is turn and walk away from you. Damn you for making me want this again. Damn you for making me want this again. Together after all these years, I can't believe you're standing here. I've often thought all about where you were, how you turned out. It can happen anyway. What would all the people say? But it's not here, only you. What am I supposed to do? Damn you for making me want this again. Damn you for making me want this again. Want this again.
Rick Barth here on Rock On Radio. And what was that one called?
This again.
This again. There you go. Art's got Invincible queued up if you want
I
to go right
found
in.
Nice, we could do that. Yeah,
can
I
do
made
that.
sure I cut the last chorus in that song because I was like, okay, I want to give it a few minutes. It says the same thing as the other three.
We can play this and still have time to close
Still
the show.
have time to wrap up. There
Nice.
you go. All right. Now, this is Invincible, which is off of Hand Me Down,
Closing track.
which is, you got to get more. Is that available digitally or no?
You can get it iTunes and
Okay.
Google Play and all that, but yeah, all the physical copies
Or
are
gone.
way of the dodo.
There you go. All right. All right. This is off of Hand Me Down Soul, Rick Barth,
Another good song.
Right.
Invincible.
Take my hand, let's run away. There's no need for us to stay. Get in my car and we'll drive real fast. Leave our lives here in the past. Forget mistakes you made. It's not worth the price you pay. Leave it all behind. Past regrets will leave you blind. Here we go on a ride, with you right here by my side. There's nothing I can do. Feel invincible with you. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, let's run away. This is the only way. Get in my car, it'll take us far. Leave our lives, but keep the scar. Get the things that drag you down. In those tears you seem to drown. Let it all go today. Keep the faith when you pray. Here we go on a ride, with you right here by my side. There's nothing I can do. Feel invincible with you. Here we go on a ride, with you right here by my side. There's nothing I can do. Feel invincible with you. Oh, yeah. Here we go on a ride, with you right here by my side. There's nothing I can do. Feel invincible with you. Here we go, alright. We ride here by my side. There's nothing I can't do. Feelings control you. Here we go, alright. We ride here by my side. There's nothing I can't do. Feeling control you. Here we go, alright. You right here by my side. There's nothing I can do. Feeling control you. Here we go, alright.
There it is, Rick Barth, Invincible, off of Hand Me Down Soul.
It is.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Love that album. Like this album too,
Mhm.
now that I've heard most of it.
Mhm.
So what's the end game, my friend? What are we going to do with this music? Are we going to try any licensing? Are we going to just keep playing in bars and singer-songwriter circles?
Well,
What are you going to do?
I would love to get some kind of licensing thing going on, find its way into TV shows and movies or whatever.
Because
Zero
you've
idea
got
how
the
to go
sound
about
for it. You've got the sound.
I like to think so, but I again, I have no experience how to do that. But if anybody knows, I'm certainly willing to listen. But I just want to keep writing songs, putting out music, and hope that more and more people hear it. I have no notion of becoming Joe Rockstar and becoming world famous. I'm
Why?
not.
Why?
It's not. It's nothing that I'm pursuing. If it happens, hey, I'll take it. But I'm not saying. I'm not putting myself in those positions where that could happen. I don't think. Just so much other things going on in life and in the world. But if I could put out songs and people, call up and say, "Hey, I just heard this song and I really like it," that's good for me. I like that.
There you go. All right, sir. Well, we have to wrap it up.
I appreciate you having me. I really do. All of you.
We appreciate you making a trip. You drove down from where now?
Morris County. It's about an
Okay.
hour. About an
All
hour.
right.
Man. That's all right.
Mhm.
There's a
See?
diner on the way home I'm gonna hit. So I'm Jersey born and bred. You gotta go.
Last time you were here, we met in a
right.
diner beforehand. Right around the corner, the Heightstown Diner. All right. Well, thank you so much. Oh shoot, I forgot to check who's coming on next week. Who's coming on next week? There, producer Claire.
Oh, I have a loaner phone.
Oh no! All right, I will look.
Actually, no, I can go right to your website. Hold on.
Oh, it's on the website, which is dcror.com. And I think we have it. We should, anyway.
It's
One of us should have it.
yeah.
Kyle Hencherik.
Oh yeah, Kyle. He was at the Cafe Artiste.
Cafe
He's
Artiste.
amazing. He's also from North Jersey too.
Right.
He's coming down.
Great.
Yeah,
So
reach
that's
out to him this week.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Rick, again, thank you so much, man. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck with the album.
Thank you.
You've always got a friend here in Rock On Radio.
Thank you.
Um,
See you in 10 years.
Love your talent. Yeah, see you after the next album. But again, best of luck to you, man. And websites, real quick.
RickBarthNJ.com, which can link you to Facebook and all the rest
that
of them. That's
fun stuff.
Yep.
All right. Until next week. Rock on!